Hey everyone! On today's video, we have my 24th scale axial based competition truck. Or at least that's what I like to call it. But recently did some changes on this. Swapped the axles out from +4s to some stock width axles. Also changed the suspension around. Try to get some better performance out of it. So this video will show you the run footage first, and then we'll get to the bench and show you all of its features. Alright guys, let's take it across to the crawler course. Bring it up between these two rocks here. Definitely tell it turns a lot tighter. That overdrive does help pull around the corners. If you watch my other videos, bring it over this rock that usually will tip over a stock truck, but that flexes over it. And I'll try to bring it around and get it between the markers. Front tire wanted to lift up, but it did settle down. Now, definitely one of the more challenging parts of the rock course is trying to climb this rock right here. Comp rig likes to get close to the top pretty easily. Trying to get that bite so it takes it over the top here. Oh, and fell off the backside. Alright, we got the truck reset. I'll try to make it back up this. Hopefully it won't fall off this time. Right there near the top. Trying to get one of the tires to bite and bring it over. There we go. Breakover angles really good on this chassis. Let's see if we can slow crawl it through here. Alright, let's try it out on the foam course. Got a pretty tight 90-degree corner back there. Try to get that front end to settle down. Alright, and we made it. Alright, let's bring it a little different line to the rock course. Try to show the stability and the turning of this. So I'm going to try to turn it and bring it back across the rock bridge. This will check our downhill. Suspension definitely comes up a little bit, but pretty stable. There we go. All right. +4 axles, left-hand turn. Bring it so those rear tires are on the tape. Stock width trail housings. Stock width trail housings. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the run footage on the crawler course for today. But tried showing you on the floor where the blue tape is, the turn radius of this, which going from the +4s to the stock width housings with Mofo RC high angle axle shafts went from about 18 3/4 with the +4s to just under 16 inches in turning radius with the current setup. So a few inches difference in turning makes a big difference in these trucks that are only about 4.5 inches wide. And then driving on the course, definitely felt a big difference. Turned a lot tighter. You know, this does have overdrive in it, so that definitely helps. But we'll get to the bench, show you the truck. All right, let me show you its features. So I'll give a quick overview of the truck. It's axial scx24 based. We have the Proline cliffhanger body, running the Endura carbon fiber frame rails with angled skid. We have the axial scx24 electronics in this, the 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. And we're running an 050 size, 50 turn Endura brushed motor. High clearance aluminum links, metal drive shafts, and the Treel aluminum skid. So recent changes on the truck. Swapped out the +4 axle housings that I had for these Treel stock width aluminum housings. So I had these Endura +4s in there, and they're a little too wide, you know, going to competitions, make it through the gates, you know, especially with this wheel and tire setup. They also don't give you a very good steering angle either. So it's hitting a ton of gates. Wasn't too happy with the setup on the truck. So I switched these Treel stock width housings, and I'm running Mofo high angle axle shafts. So to get these in there and running smooth, ended up having some binding when I first put them together. So I watched a few videos and had to file down the end of these shaft, the end that goes into the differential, because I guess they were hitting when you would turn. The two axle shafts would hit inside the differential and bind up. So I just took a hand file, filed down each side, probably just a few millimeters. You know, tried it a couple times and just took the minimum amount that I could. Still getting some binding, and then saw on these shafts, the U-joint style shafts, you don't need the outer bearing, or the bearing that's in the end of the axle housing, because these are kind of one piece, so you don't need that support, and it was actually causing binding. So filing down the ends and removing that one bearing made a big difference. Got rid of all the binding when you would turn. Actually had to kind of file out the back of the steering linkage because that was hitting the diff cover. So once got it the clearance on everything. Was able to get a nice tight turn on it. And these housings are set up with the Trio heavy brass steering knuckles, diff cover, and even the brass steering linkage to try to get the weight balance that we need, which still came out to 56% front, 44% rear weight balance, with a total of 515 grams with the 2S battery in it. So, also just recent at the same time changed out these Trio double barrel shocks. And I switched those out to the Hot Racing long travel shocks, standard style. So it actually lowered the truck a bit. Still has pretty good flex, which I was having some issues, with the truck front end just wanting to flex out and not settle back down. And if you're running a competition, you don't want to hit a marker or get a penalty for a reverse. So hopefully that'll help out, keep the truck a little more stable. Also running 23% overdrive. So that overdrive definitely helps out with the turn, helps kind of pull the front end around. So hopefully all those changes definitely made a big difference running on the indoor course, but we'll have to find out when we get to a competition. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for watching.